Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols, the Advanced Protocols Data Project. So I was just pondering and just thinking out loud and wanted to share some of those thoughts with you guys and get your opinion because these are some important thoughts. It's about after contact has been established, after there has been some definitive, definite contact, whether it be electronic signal, an earth-wide, Earth completely around the entire planet signal, uh, or maybe it's a repeat visitation at a specific location, some kind of regular contact. After that has been established, which is going to happen at some point, whether we detect it incredibly far away or see it land somewhere. At some point, extraterrestrial intelligences are going to become just part of our daily reality. And I'm really kind of looking forward for that day because it's only a daily reality for experiencers at this point and some of the scientists working on this stuff. But I can imagine it being part of the daily news, just like a new segment on the news. And it's a new permanent segment because the topic is so important. It's such a big topic that you would cover it every night. Tonight in ET News, a medical treaty was negotiated whereby humanity will get new scanning technology in exchange for all humanity destroying all of our nuclear weapons, plus decommissioning poorly constructed nuclear power plants. So it seems like the visitors continue their apparent policy of not wanting anything in exchange from us humans except our own spiritual growth. On to you, Becky, in the weather. That's what I think it's going to be like. I think it's going to be incorporated into our daily lives. And I think all of humanity's foibles and our normal problems are going to creep in. Some will demonize them. There will definitely be evangelical groups saying that they are false prophets or worse, that they're satanic. And there's going to be some very extreme evangelical groups that are going to be very on purpose extremist just to garner more attention. Some will worship them. Some will be the opposite, will be kind of like traitorous. And some people will worship them and agree with everything the visitors do or say or whatever the visitors want, thinking that it will get them special inside info. There's always people who are like Faust, who are willing to subjugate their character completely in the false hopes that they will get special knowledge. And there will definitely be people who will be over the top E.T. Brown nosers on purpose. But there will be others that will beseech caution. There will be others who beseech war, who just want war immediately. War, war, war with them. And there'll be fewer advocating for peace. But I think the actions of the visitors will really dictate a lot of things. I think our actions, even if hostile, will be very apparent, contrasted by their peaceful actions. I think many people will portray themselves as purveyors of the ultimate alien truths and wisdoms. There are those people now who have built up these big, huge, fake, wacky stories and characters and races and all sorts of wacky science, and it's all just this big wacky story to rope people in. And over time, some of these people have just had to keep telling the story, and it just gets wackier and weirder because the first initial story about their visitation with, a green chicken species was so exciting, people wanted more. And I think there'll be a lot more of that. But there'll be other people in different ways being the ultimate alien authorities, or saying that they're contacting them every night telepathically, or they'll be channeling them, or whatever. There will definitely be cults and exploiters of the many mysteries that will still remain because the communication will grow over time. It won't just be we learn everything. It'll be a slow learning. That's why it'll be part of the nightly news. And there will be many fakers and profiteers and snake oil salesmen, and they will just come out of the woodwork then. There was a craze when radiation was first discovered, and it was the radium craze. They put radium in makeup and they put it everywhere. And then, of course, later on, of course, they found out it was not necessarily good. And I think they're doing that a lot nowadays with quantum. Everything's quantum. Quantum healing necklaces, quantum healing earrings, quantum, everything. Even though some of these things may work, but, when you throw quantum in there, it kind of gives it that zing, of credibility. There will be definitely alien anti-gravity hairspray utilizing the latest in anti-gravity metamaterials to make your hair perfect. I think some cultures will incorporate or reincorporate ETI, the ETI reality into their cultures. Like India may have sects that worship them as their classic gods. Other places maybe might even re-welcome them, like the famous Dogon tribe. The Japanese might recognize them as Atsurobune. It will be really interesting to see what the different reactions of different cultures will be. But I don't think we should fear. I think right now, if it happened right now, it would not precipitate any wars. Society would be fine if it happened right now. There would be no wars, no churches would be overthrown, the Catholic Church would still be here, all the governments would still be here, no governments would be overthrown. I don't think it would stop a single business day. It would not stop the stock market. The stock market would continue. Unfortunately, it would not stop the wars that were involved in around the world. It would not cause panic in the streets because War of the Worlds was about an attack. That's a really important point to bring up about that incident. It wasn't just that aliens existed. It was that it was an attack. That's why War of the Worlds was so bad. But I do think it would do some wonderful things. It would stimulate crucial questions and possible solutions to global problems. It would stimulate crucial discussions about our place in the universe. It would be a crucial step, I think, in the maturity of our species. It would be the moment that we truly realize the universe does not revolve around us. The moment that we realize we have to clean up our own room and grow up a little bit. It's like a kid growing up, our species is, literally. There is that point as a child where you realize the world doesn't revolve around you, even though you still kind of believe it as an adult. But you realize there's other people out there, and humanity needs to do that now. We've spent all this time with, first we thought the Earth was the center of the universe, and then we learned, oh, there's a sun, and maybe we revolve around the sun. But we always kept humanity at this special place, and now maybe we're going to have to accept the fact that we've got a family, a universal family. We've got neighbors, and that is not that big of a deal, and that the technology will make them neighbors and not, incredible distances that are insurmountable. I think we're about to really grow up right now. We are so lucky to be alive at this moment in time because these new technologies are happening. Once anti-gravity happens, once that leaving the planet thing is possible, it's an amazing time for a species. And we're so lucky to be alive. And like a child growing up, a child realizing that the universe doesn't revolve around them, we're going to have to clean up our room. I don't think we'll be allowed to go leaping around the universe, destroying planet after planet. That's a virus. That's not a good species. I think we're going to grow up fast. We're going to learn some amazing science. We're going to leave home. We're going to meet our neighbors, and then leave home. And we're really going to leap into the next stage of evolution for humanity. And maybe multiple different directions simultaneously. And it really makes me wonder why ET is here. In our previous videos, we have talked about how ETs seem to represent near future technology constantly. In the way past, back in the 1800s, they were airships. They looked like blimps before we had blimps. Before we had rockets, they appeared like cigar-shaped with smoke and fire behind them even, just like our rockets. But before our rockets. And then before we had triangle-shaped bombers, they were doing triangle shapes. And on and on. It's like they're trying to teach us the future. But it's not like they're teaching us art or horticulture or anything. It's about building and flying craft for some reason. It seems like they're trying to teach us that. Why? Why would they think we need technological handholding? Why would they technologically try and increase our growth rate? And specifically, direction towards leaving the planet. They are an advanced civilization. What do they know about the future that we needed to increase our technological growth rate for? Maybe I'm just reading too much into all this. What do you guys think? You think I'm reading too much into all this? Tell me I am, please. Please tell me I am. Much love to you and yours.